In RF and electronics, engineers often encounter circuits that contain both series and parallel resistors. To analyze these circuits correctly, we must determine how voltage, current, and power are distributed throughout the network. In this lesson, we'll solve a complete circuit step by step and calculate the voltage and power of every resistor. Given a DC circuit with source is 12 volts R13 ohms, R22 ohms, R34 ohms, and R46 ohms, and calculate voltage and power of each resistor. We start by focusing on the two resistors, R2 and R3, which are connected in series. In a series connection, the same current flows through both resistors. This means their resistances simply add together to form one equivalent resistance. So we combine them as R23. Now substitute the given values 6 ohms. This result means that the entire pair of R2 and R3 can now be replaced by a single resistor of 6 ohms, which simplifies the circuit for the next steps of analysis. Next, we move to the parallel section of the circuit, where R4 is connected in parallel with the equivalent resistor R23, which we previously calculated as 6 ohms. In a parallel connection, both branches share the same voltage, but the current splits depending on the resistance of each branch. Lower resistance draws more current, while higher resistance draws less. To simplify this part of the circuit, we replace the parallel network with a single equivalent resistance using the standard parallel formula. Now substitute the values. R2, 3, 4, 3 ohms. This result tells us that the entire parallel section behaves like a single 3 ohm resistor. This step is important because it reduces the circuit into a much simpler form, allowing us to easily compute total resistance, current, and voltage distribution in the following steps. After simplifying the parallel part of the circuit, we now rebuild the full equivalent structure. At this stage, the circuit has been reduced into two main components: R1, which remains unchanged, and the equivalent resistance of the sub-network R4 in parallel with R2 and R3, which we now denote as R234. This R234 represents the entire parallel combination, already simplified in the previous step. Since R1 is connected in series with R234, we now combine them. In a series connection, resistances add directly because the same current flows through each element sequentially without any branching. So we define the total equivalent resistance of the full circuit as R1234. Now substitute the values. R1234 equals 6 ohms. This means the original 4-resistor network has now been fully reduced into a single equivalent resistance 6 ohms. This final simplification allows us to directly apply Ohm's law in the next step to determine the total current in the circuit. Now that the entire circuit has been reduced to a single equivalent resistance, we can move on to determining the total current flowing from the source. At this point, the circuit behaves like a simple single-loop circuit. This means we no longer need to consider branches or individual resistor interactions. Everything is represented by one equivalent resistance. We apply Ohm's law, which relates voltage, current, and resistance in a DC circuit. I equals V divided by R for the full circuit. Now substitute the known values. I equals 2 amperes. This result represents the total current delivered by the voltage source. Because the total resistor represents the entire network, this current of 2 amperes is the current flowing into R1 before the circuit splits into the parallel branches. From this point onward, we will use this total current to determine voltage drops and current distribution across each part of the original circuit. Now that we know the total current flowing through the circuit is 2 amperes, we can determine how the voltage is distributed across each component. We start with R1, which is the first resistor in the series path before the circuit splits into the parallel network. Because R1 is in series with the rest of the circuit, the full total current must pass through it. This makes the calculation straightforward using Ohm's law. The voltage drop across a resistor is given by U equals I times R. Now substitute the known values equals 6 volts. This means that R1 alone consumes 6 volts of the total 2-volt supply. Physically, this voltage drop occurs before the current reaches the parallel network. So after passing through R1, only the remaining voltage is available for the rest of the circuit branches. This step is important because it sets up the voltage condition for the parallel section, which we will analyze next. After calculating the voltage drop across R1, we now determine what remains for the parallel network. The key idea here is Kirchhoff's voltage law. The sum of all voltage drops in a closed loop must equal the source voltage. We started with a supply of 12 volts, and we already know that R1 consumes 6 volts. So the remaining voltage available for the rest of the circuit is 6 volts. This remaining 6 volts is now applied directly across the entire parallel network, which consists of 2 branches, R4, and the series combination R2 and R3, which we previously simplified. In a parallel circuit, a very important rule applies. All branches share the same voltage. This means both branches experience the same potential difference across their terminals. This is a crucial step because while current splits in parallel, voltage remains identical across each branch. This principle will allow us to calculate branch currents in the next scene. Now that we know the voltage across the parallel network is 6 volts, we can determine how the current divides between the 2 branches. In a parallel circuit, the voltage across each branch is the same, but the current depends on the resistance of each branch. Lower resistance allows more current to flow, while higher resistance limits it. We start with the first branch, which is resistor R4, using Ohm's law. I4 equals 1 ampere. So the current through R4 is 1 ampere. Next, we analyze the second branch, which is the series combination of R2 and R3. We already simplified this branch as R23 equals 6 ohms. Again, applying Ohm's law, I23 equals 1 ampere. So the current through the second branch is also 1 ampere. Since R2 and R3 are connected in series, the same current flows through both components. That means IR2 equals IR3 equals I23 equals 1 ampere. This completes the current distribution in the parallel network and confirms that the total current entering the node is split evenly between the 2 equal resistance branches. Now that we know the branch currents, we can determine the voltage across each individual resistor in the circuit. We start with the resistors in the series branch, R2 and R3. From the previous step, we know the current through this branch is 1 ampere, and in a series circuit, the same current flows through each resistor. For R2, we apply Ohm's law. We have 2 volts. Next, for R3 voltage is 4 volts. This completes the voltage distribution across all resistors in the circuit, showing how the source voltage is fully allocated across both series and parallel elements. Now, let's calculate the power dissipated by each resistor using P equals U times 1. For R1, P1 equals 12 watts, P4 6 watts, P2 2 watts, P3 4 watts. We've completed the full circuit analysis step by step, including resistance, current, voltage, and power calculations. All results have been verified and are consistent with circuit laws. Hopefully, you now understand how series and parallel circuits work in practice. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more lessons. See you in the next video.